Todd Young Online presents Young Tales. Tales for the young and the young at heart. Today's story: Bulfinch's mythology, the Mabinogion, Kilwich and Olwen. Now, before Camelot was raised in stone, and before Merlin's song echoed through the forest of Brocéliande, there lived in the green valleys of Wales a youth named Kilwich, son of Killiad, son of Prince Camelot. He was born of prayers long asked for by his mother Goliadid, who, when she was laying dying, said to her husband, "Take no wife until a briar with two blossoms grows upon my grave." And this the king swore. Yet in time the promise was forgotten. A briar sprang upon the grave, and the king, seeing it, sought another wife, a cold woman, the sister of a giant named Yspaddaden Penkawr. And from that hour sorrow crept into the household of Killiad. One day, as Kilwich grew tall and fair, his stepmother looked upon him with envy and said, "It were well for thee to have a wife, boy." "I am not yet of the age to wed," said Kilwich. "Then hear this," she said darkly. "It is thy destiny to have no bride but one, Olwen, daughter of Yspaddaden Penkawr." At the sound of that name, the strange fire filled Kilwich's heart. Though he had never seen her, the thought of Olwen set his blood aflame. When his father saw his son's face grown pale, he asked, "What aileth thee, son?" "My stepmother has named the maiden who is my fate," said Kilwich. Then Killiad smiled and said, "Go to thy cousin Arthur, ask him to cut thy hair, and beg of him this boon, that he help thee win thy bride." So Kilwich rode forth upon a steed dappled gray, swift as a swallow, bearing a golden sword and spears tipped with silver. His two greyhounds ran before him, their collars flashing with rubies. And thus he came to the gate of Arthur's hall. But the porter barred the way. "Is there a porter here?" asked Kilwich. "There is," said Galiud the porter, "but none may enter Arthur's hall save a king's son or a craftsman bringing his trade. Return tomorrow, and I will open the gate for thee first." "If thou openest not the gate," Kilwich said proudly, I will raise 3 shouts that will bring shame upon thy lord." So the porter went to Arthur and said, "Half my life is past, and I have seen many kings, yet never one so noble as the man at the gate." "Then run, not walk, and bring him in," said Arthur, "for never shall a worthy man be left in the rain at my door." And so the gate was opened, and Kilwich entered, radiant and proud, and greeted Arthur with these words: "Greeting be unto thee, ruler of this isle, and to all who sit within thy hall. May thy fame and favor fill the world." Arthur smiled. "Thou art welcome, cousin. Sit among my warriors, and whatever boon thou shalt ask, save only my ship, my sword, my spear, and my queen, thou shalt have it freely." "Did I ask that thou obtain for me Olwen, daughter of Yspaddaden Penkawr, to be my wife?" said Kilwich. "By the truth of heaven thou shalt have her, though I have never heard her name till this day." Then Arthur called his mightiest companions to aid Kilwich: Case, the swift of tongue; Bedwyr, the one-handed, whose single arm struck like 3; Gawain, who never turned home without victory; Gorir Gwalstat, who knew the tongues of all the beasts and the birds; Minu, the magician, who could weave illusions over whole armies; and Kindilig, the unfailing guide. "Go," said Arthur, "and bring back the maiden. Let none say that the court of Britain failed a friend." They journeyed far until they came to a broad valley, where a vast flock grazed beneath a black mound. Upon the mound sat a herdsman, and beside him a dog larger than a horse. "Whose sheep are these?" asked Kay. "Stupid, are ye? They belong to Yspaddaden Penkawr, whose castle stands yonder. But if you go there, you go to your deaths. for none who seek his daughter eternal life. Then Kilwich gave the herdsman a golden ring. When the man's wife saw it, she said, "This ring can only belong to none but my sister's son, Kilwich. Alas for him, for all who seek Olwen perish." Yet she welcomed them and fed them well. When they told her their quest, she said, "Olwen comes each Saturday to wash her hair and leaves her rings in the bowl. I will send for her, if ye swear no harm shall come to her." And they swore. When Olwen came, the house glowed with light. Her robe of flame-colored silk, her hair shone like the broom's yellow bloom, her skin whiter than sea foam, and wherever her foot touched the earth, 4 white trefoils sprang up. And Kilwich knew her at once, the face from his dreams. "Thou art she whom I have loved long before I saw thee," he awed. "Come with me, lest they speak evil of us both." "I may not go without my father's leave," she said. His life lasts only till my wedding day. Yet go to him and ask. Grant whatever he demands, and thou shalt win me. Deny him nothing, or thy life is forfeit." And she vanished from the room like sunlight fading. They followed her to her father's castle. They slew the 9 porters at the 9 gates and the 9 hounds that barked within, and came at last into the hall of Yspaddaden Penkawr, the chief of giants, whose head was so huge that he must prop his eyelids with forks to see. Ugh. The greeting of heaven and of man be unto thee," said Kilwich. "And you," said the giant, "why come ye hither?" "We come to ask thy daughter Olwen for Kilwich, son of Camelot. Come again tomorrow, and thou shalt have thy answer." As they turned to go, Yspaddaden seized one of the poisoned darts that lay beside him and hurled it. But Bedwyr caught it and threw it back, wounding the giant in the knee. "Accursed son-in-law!" roared Yspaddaden. "I shall ever limp for this rudeness." When they came again the next day, he flung a second dart, and Manu caught it, wounding him in the chest. The third day he hurled the last dart, and Kilwich himself cast it back, piercing the giant through the eye. "Enough," groaned Yspaddaden. "You shall have my daughter, when thou hast done for me the tasks I name." He leaned upon his elbow and began to speak, each word dripping venom. Bring me the flax that was sown before her birth to weave her wedding veil. Bring me the harp of Tirtu that plays of itself when willed. Bring me Mabinogion, son of Modron, taken from his mother when 3 nights old. Bring me the 2 cubs of the wolf Gast Rimley to guard my hall, and the leash to bind them, made from the beard of Dillis the robber, and plucked yet while he lives. Bring me too the sword of Gwynach the giant, whose blade none may take by force. Then Yspaddaden leaned back trembling. Do these things, and Olwen shall be thine. Arthur, my kinsman, shall win all of these for me, said Kilwich grimly, and thou shalt lose thy life. And here's where we end for today. Young Tales is produced and narrated by Todd Young from ToddYoungONLINE. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe and join us next time for another story. Thank you for your support.